Matthew 16:24 says, Jesus said, whoever would want to be my disciple, he must first deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. Now, that scripture, can be very difficult in a world where we live in a time of selfishness, self-centeredness, look at me. In a time when we're to believe as Christians that we must follow the world's leading, and that somehow God changes his mind to basically be like the world, to fit in with the world. God doesn't change his mind. His scripture hasn't changed. The only thing that's changed is us, is our sin. And in Timothy it does speak about these end times and how people love themselves. Kids being disrespectful to their children and all, to their parents even, not their children, to their children that'd be weird, but to their parents and all of that. But you know what? Jesus is saying, take up your cross, follow me. In other words, first of all, walk in humility before God. Know that everything you do as a Christian, the way you live, if you have a relationship with Christ, is not about you. It's all about him and what he does through you, because without him, we would not be able to have and share in heaven and live in heaven with God, the Father, with Jesus. We would not be able to do that. Let's not forget that point. There's no other way to Jesus. There's no other way to heaven, but through Jesus. So you see, and what God is saying as well in this scripture is simply, you've got to die to yourself daily. In other words, you need to seek God about those things in your life that need to change. There might be things that you have thought for so long is okay, a way of living, a belief you've had about a certain, about something that society says okay. It could be anything. It could be just a behaviour. It could be the fact of, are you willing to sacrifice financially or whatever for the glory of God? What do you need to lay down? What do you need to lay down the burden on, to carry the cross, to carry on no matter how hard it is, and no matter the struggle? And carrying a cross is a struggle. Are you willing to take up that cross, to die to self daily, to sacrifice the things of this world and say, God, I don't care about money or whatever. Yes, if you provide these things, they're great. But I don't care about these things. All I care about is a relationship with you and following you and being willing to pay the ultimate sacrifice for you. And that is a daily choice, that we put everything aside and we say, Jesus, we are going to bear the burden. We are going to walk in freedom, but we are going to be willing to lay down whatever we need to be more like you, to be closer to you, to lay down our past. Because God, we love you, and because we know that we would not be here without you. So I want to ask you today, are you ready to lay the things down, or to seek God of those things that you need to lay down in your life? Are you willing to sacrifice even your own fears? Are you willing to take a step of faith to grow closer to God and to do the work that God has called you to do? Because if you are, and if you're willing to say, look, I don't know what that means, I don't know what is in store for me, that's okay. That's okay, because he will show you, because God You know, he doesn't call the educated, he educates the chosen. A choice is not something that you have to have. Sorry, a choice or a calling, it's not something you have to have in the bag. No, God helps you, he chooses you, he calls you. It comes from him, it's not from a passion, it's from him and him alone. So I want to encourage you today, seek him and just lay your lives before him and say every day, God, I give my life to you, and whatever needs to change, I change. Lord God, I want to walk this path of salvation with you and for you. And God, I want to die to my old self so I can raise, because even when Jesus died, he raised to new life. And as we die, we carry the cross, then we can raise to new life in him. So I want to say to you today, be blessed. You are amazing, and seek after God. Thank you.